Now on a special edition of KGW News, the St. Helens School District responding after a report details just how badly they handled multiple sex abuse cases. Plus why a special session over transportation funding has been pushed back nearly 2 days.
And it's just been watching people not show up to do their jobs.
And local protesters in Clackamas calling attention to what they claim is the federal government bias for billionaires.
I think my obligation as a citizen to stand up for what's right.
And thanks so much for joining us on this special edition of KGW News. I'm John Adams. Our top story tonight, the St. Helens School District responding to a report saying they failed in handling alleged sexual misconduct at St. Helens High School. Jake Holter is in St. Helens and breaks down what the district said.
Well, in a release, the St. Helens School District said, quote, "The path forward requires more than words," and laid out a list of steps that they plan on taking to prevent something like this from happening again. A third-party investigative report just released found that the St. Helens School District repeatedly failed to act in instances of alleged sexual misconduct involving 2 educators. For example, when the report says that when choir teacher Eric Stearns allegedly hit girls on the backside during cheer practice, made numerous sexual references during rehearsals, and put his hand inside of a student's mouth, the administration either delayed investigating or didn't act at all. The report says there was also no evidence that the district conducted a thorough background check, including looking into why Stearns had been placed on leave and later resigned while working at his last school district. In light of this report, the district says they are committed to doing better. In a release, the district says they implemented a corrective action plan in the spring, quote, "created to serve as our commitment to rebuilding trust." Most of the release lays out the district's plans going forward. These are some of their steps: updating their hiring practices to include comprehensive background and reference checks, ensuring annual mandatory reporting training for all employees while reinforcing the professional staff student boundaries policy, providing all students with sexual abuse prevention education, and making sure Safe Oregon posters are posted throughout the schools, and an increased superintendent presence at schools with more feedback from students. The district has new leadership going into the new school year, and the release closes by saying, quote, "Our goal is to ensure that our actions, policies, and culture reflect the safe and supportive environment every student and staff member deserves so that our schools become places of healing and growth for all." Stearns' trial is scheduled to begin in September of next year, and he's pleaded not guilty to all 29 sexual abuse charges. In St. Helens, Jake Holter, KGW News.
We want to make sure you know there is help available 24 hours a day. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is on your screen right there. It's 800-656-HOPE. Well, taking a live look outside right now, we saw cloudy skies and some cooler temperatures to start our Labor Day weekend. Corey Johnson is here to let us know what we're going to be seeing the rest of the weekend. Hi, Corey.
Hey, John. Yeah, we are going to see comfortable temperatures this evening and follow that pattern tomorrow of cloudy morning to afternoon sun as we get into your Sunday. Now, taking a look at temperatures right now, it is pretty comfortable for us outside. 71 in Baker City, 77 in Pendleton, 77 in the Dalles, and 60s near the coast for us at this time. A look from our Wells Fargo camera. Beautiful Saturday evening on tap, 73 degrees. Still some clouds overhead for us right now, and that's the same from our Salem camera right now. Also some clouds overhead as that sun sets, 72 degrees for us there. In Southwest Washington, not getting too hot today. We topped out around 83 degrees in Vancouver. For our Saturday. In Central Oregon, 58 was our high. In LeGrand, Pendleton around 93, and then 92 in Bend, also 94 in LeGrand. I misspoke. But for Sunday, we are expecting a nicer day on tap, slightly warmer for us. It's going to heat into the mid-80s for us as we get into the late afternoon tomorrow. I'll break all of that down coming up.
All right, Corey, we'll see you soon. Thank you. The immigrant fire burning southeast of Eugene continues to grow uncontained. As of today, it's burned nearly 20,000 acres. That's partially due to 2 spot fires that merged with the larger one. While the fire is in a remote area, a note to travelers, it has forced several closures in the Willamette National Forests. That includes roads, campsites, hiking trails, and hunting areas. For more information, head to the Forest Service website. Well, a few hours east of Portland in Umatilla County, the Juniper Canyon fire has quickly grown to nearly 10,000 acres. That's the latest estimation by the Oregon Forestry Service, which is now in command of that fire. It's been burning about 16 miles northeast of Hermiston since Thursday. No word on any evacuation notices at this time, and so far, no buildings have been affected. Portland police are asking for the community's help finding a missing woman. They say 63-year-old Doris Strunk was last seen leaving a care home the evening of Thursday, August 21st. Detectives say she has multiple illnesses and has been off her medication. She's known to frequent Northeast Halsey Street between 122nd and 114th Avenue. If you see her, call 911 right away. Oregon lawmakers will now meet on Sunday to get a special session underway over transportation funding. It's after they barely made quorum on Friday. Well, the governor has made it clear getting transportation funding passed is a huge priority. Alma McCarty has the update from Salem.
The Senate convened at 9 a.m. and quickly adjourned until 2 p.m. on Monday. However, without a quorum, the House was unable to come to order until after 8 p.m. Friday night.
Please be seated.
Lawmakers back in Salem once again.
A quorum is present.
Gavelled in to take another shot at passing a transportation funding package during this special session.
House Bill 3992 relating to state financial administration, declaring emergency. House Bill 3991 relating to transportation, prescribing effective date, providing for revenue raising that requires approval by 3/5 majority.
But in the House, at least, it took many hours for enough Democrats to get to the Capitol to have a quorum, with no official explanation as to why as of Friday night. Representative David Gomberg expressing thanks to administrators.
The body's gratitude to our clerks team who have been here all day long.
Others, like transportation workers and the union that represents them, viewed these delays with disappointment.
Well, we had workers show up this morning at 7 a.m. expecting to see the Senate go into session at 9 a.m. and expecting to see the House go in at 11 a.m. It was 11 a.m., then it was 1 p.m., then it was 3 p.m., then it was 3:30 p.m., and it's just been watching people not show up to do their jobs.
Supporters of the transportation bill want to see it passed as soon as possible to avert layoffs and large-scale service cuts to ODOT and local transportation and public transit agencies.
I mean, you're talking about a really devastated agency, so the impacts to Oregon statewide will be unreal, really unreal.
Opponents don't want to see new fees or taxes for Oregonians.
It never should have come to this. There are ways to solve this problem that don't actually involve new taxes. And I've suggested that, and I have it in my testimony here. Very simple things that they can start doing today. But if they don't even meet, if they don't show up and there's no quorum, well, then you can't have a conversation.
Lawmakers intend to hear more public testimony when the House reconvenes. Again, the House will reconvene on Sunday at 4 p.m. In Salem, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
We're learning more about the Oregon firefighter arrested by Border Patrol agents while fighting Washington's largest wildfire. His attorneys tell us the man was living in Kaiser and came to the U.S. with his family when he was 4 years old. He was arrested along with a fellow crew member while they were fighting the Bear Gulch fire on the Olympic Peninsula. Others on the crew say Border Patrol agents checked all of their IDs. Border Patrol says the two arrested were in the country illegally. Agents say one had a previous removal order. Attorneys for the Oregon man say their client had applied for what's known as a U visa 7 years ago, but the application was still pending. He's been a wildland firefighter for the past 3 years.
These men are actually risking their lives to protect all of us. So by arresting people who are doing that work, it's just another way we're seeing the federal government attacking the values that make America strong.
The Oregon man is now being held in the ICE detention center in Tacoma. His lawyers are challenging the arrest and hoping to get him released. In Vancouver, the strike continues for Evergreen school employees. The district presented what it called a final contract offer on Friday, but the union rejected it. The strike started on Tuesday and both sides have been in mediation all week. The union agreed to keep talking into the weekend, but only if the district skipped extra pay for administrators for negotiating outside work hours. The district said it couldn't guarantee that. As of right now, the first day of school is still set for next Tuesday, though that could be in jeopardy without a deal. Today, protesters from Indivisible Justice for All lined the sidewalks outside of the Clackamas Town Center Mall, speaking out for workers over billionaires. Rally organizers say they're speaking against recent federal cuts to essential programs and what they consider attacks on immigrants and working families. A spokesperson for the group says they want to grow these rallies larger and larger until there are so many people in the streets the government can't ignore them.
Like in the 60s when I was growing up, it's the protests that change things.
It feels to me like the powers that be in America right now have lost compassion. It's gone. They can't find it, and we need that compassion back.
More and more we're seeing people from different groups, not just Democrats, but lots of independents, and we're beginning to see Republicans here as well.
Well, the Trump administration says it's helping families by streamlining federal programs and cracking down on illegal immigrants with criminal records. More workers over billionaires' Labor Day rallies and marches are planned for Monday morning, including rallies in East Portland at Ed Benedict Park beginning at 10:30 and Vancouver's Waterfront Park beginning at 11. Well, check this out. The pumpkin patch at Sauvie Island is getting people excited for fall. Today was their grand opening of the maze. This 5-acre corn maze opens up for business every year on Labor Day weekend. This year's theme is Cornlandia, paying tribute to the animals and the sights of the Pacific Northwest.
You can't beat this setting right here. The farm itself kind of sits up on a rise. You get a beautiful view of the island. And then when you're in the maze, we've got these 2 bridges, one in each half of the maze. And you can get kind of above the corn and get a nice view of the farm.
But it's a great place. It's really fun to be here, and they have a little market, good food, really good paninis.
The maze runs through October. Tickets are $10 per person. Children 5 and under are free.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Art Edwards. The Oregon Ducks, they opened up their season at Autzen Stadium today against Montana State. It was all one-way traffic for the Ducks today. Nothing like when they played FCF's Idaho last season. Oregon's Dante Moore with a sensational debut as a starter at Autzen Stadium. 3 touchdown passes. Ducks rolled 59-13. Orlando Sanchez was at the game. He's going to have a full wrap of all the action, including interviews with coaches and players, coming up in sports.
All right, Art, thank you. Also coming up, an appeals court hands down a ruling over the Trump administration's sweeping tariff agenda, but they're not going away at this point. Plus, how a community is coming together after a shooter attacks a church while children were inside. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's take a look at your headlines. An appeals court has ruled that President Donald Trump's tariff push overstepped presidential powers. Federal court says President Trump misused his authority when he imposed tariffs under an emergency powers statute, something only Congress can do. A panel of 11 judges ruled 7-4 that the president's tariffs were illegal, but also said they can stay in place until the case is settled. Chicago's mayor signed an executive order Saturday that is aimed at resisting President Trump's planned immigration crackdown. The mayor's order states Chicago police will not assist federal agents on patrols or arrest operations. It also says the city's police force will be required to wear attire that identifies them while urging federal law enforcement officers to refrain from wearing masks. However, it is not clear how effective it will be in stopping the president's plans. The Social Security Administration's chief data officer has involuntarily resigned just days after filing a whistleblower complaint. He claims efforts by the Department of Government Efficiency put the records of more than 300 million Americans at risk. The data includes people's names, social security numbers, dates of birth. The Social Security Administration says it does not comment on personnel matters. In Minnesota, law enforcement continue to investigate the suspect who opened fire during school mass, killing 2 children. Meanwhile, the memorial at Annunciation Catholic Church continues to grow. Sammy Salinas hears from community members about how they're expressing their grief.
When words are hard to come by, there's song, flowers, and prayer.
I don't know what to draw.
For Lila Hostetler,
Draw an angel.
She prefers chalk.
I think Lila likes to draw a lot, and that's a good way for her to process what she's feeling.
Yeah, I do.
She was inside Annunciation Church when the shooting happened.
And we really wanted to come here because we want to remember Fletcher, who had been in your class, known since he was little.
Yeah.
Tess Rada, her mom, says she sees her pain in her art.
Lots of sad, crying faces. Lots of hearts.
I am
Ellen Irwin has a preference
giving love
for flowers.
But I'm being here with community that's together and has come together.
She's one of the volunteers organizing these gifts.
It's a time for people to express how they're feeling.
Say a little prayer for them.
Even Max Huber, a parish director for Lumen Christi Catholic Community,
And I told our parishioners that and said, it's okay, I'm here for you.
has trouble finding words of comfort when his church and schools look so similar to Annunciation.
We might not know what to say, but my ears are always open.
So he relies on prayer.
Lumen Christi loves you.
Many say there are no words to describe how they're feeling.
But we're so brave. You especially.
But there is chalk, flowers, and there is one another.
All right, back here locally, time to talk about our weather. Corey, a much cooler day today than we've seen of late.
Yes, exactly. I was running errands earlier today and it felt really nice.
Yeah,
it wasn't that hot. That hot. And if you like this sort of weather, the good news is it'll be comfortable over the next 2 days, at least until we get to Monday. And then we might start heating up again is what we're looking at in the early part of the week. A storm chance, though, is possible in mid to late week. And so that could kind of mess with us building into the 90s is what we're looking at for some models. But I'll break that down in just a bit. Taking a look at our Rose City camera, beautiful evening on tap for us right now from our live camera out there. 73 degrees, a little bit of cloud overhead. The same for us in the Dalles this evening, 77 for us tonight. Our Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood, the sun setting about 20 minutes ago, 73 degrees for us this evening. Comfortable temps right now across the board, as I mentioned, 71 in Baker City, 79 in Yakima, and 60s near the coast. We did keep an eye on a few spot showers that were near Newport that looked like they broke up a few hours ago, but our weekend weather very comfortable for us right now, and we'll copy and paste that as we get into Sunday with just slightly warmer temperatures, but think morning clouds, afternoon sun for the rest of this weekend. And it will be slightly cooler as we start next week near the coast. This is our live camera from our Chinook Winds Casino camera in Lincoln City. Beautiful evening. We did have some people walking near the coast a couple of minutes ago. Not a bad picture or view for us this evening. It's 61 degrees for us out there. A look at Futurecast as we start our Sunday morning tomorrow tomorrow. It is going to be just a little bit cloudy near the coast, some clouds in the Willamette Valley. But as you can see, fast forward that time frame into the afternoon. So around noon, it breaks up, and then it should be more sunny for you as we get into the afternoon hours, those clouds on out east. And into the evening, pretty calm for us for the most part. So a comfortable holiday weekend is what we're looking at, but we are going to heat up slightly as we get from Monday into Tuesday. Looking at this air mass, you can see into Tuesday afternoon, the heat expanding for us, getting warmer Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at satellite and radar. We've also been pretty calm for the most part, but this is what I want you to pay attention to. This system right here is what we're looking at and will be the determining factor for us as we get into next week in our rain scenario. So if that system I just showed you moves north, cooler 80s are possible Tuesday through Thursday with showers and storms. If it does stay south, we'll be hotter, drier, well into the 90s, but the uncertainty does remain for us. It all depends on the track of the storm, but the National Weather Service believes the first scenario is likely that will be a little bit cooler. But taking a look at your 7-day forecast over the next week, comfortable temperatures. Midweek, it is going to heat up for us. Your Labor Day is going to be very, very comfortable. Potential 90s possible Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday looks like it might top out around 96. So it's a comfortable weekend or week ahead on tap for us. Sports is next.
The Oregon Ducks opened up the 2025 football season in style. Perfect day at Autzen Stadium for some football. Orlando Sanchez was there and has all the action.
Fresh off a 13-win season and a Big Ten title, 10 Ducks selected in the NFL draft. A program record, 18 starters from a year ago gone. But that squad setting the tone for this year. The motto, double down. And the 2025 Oregon Ducks making quite the first impression in their season opener. It remains damn green in Eugene. Welcome back to Autzen Stadium. More than 57,000 in the house. Season opener vibes. The 7th-ranked Ducks facing FCS power Montana State. And it was all gas, no brakes from the Oregon offense. Jaden Lamar, 16-yard run for the Ducks' first touchdown of the season. Quarterback Dante Moore earning the starting job. And this was his first TD pass. Kenyon Sadiq trucks a defender, crumbling a Bobcat on his way to the house. Moore's first start at the U of O, 18 of 23 passing, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns. This, a moment Moore has been waiting for.
It's been 2 years, man, and it's just a blessing to
be able to play here at the University of Oregon in front of a great crowd and great fans. But I think the best thing was just the way we moved the ball as a whole unit.
The offense clicking on all cylinders. Oregon did not punt, putting up points on 9 consecutive drives. 10 different players caught passes. Freshman Jordan Davison rushed for 3 TDs. Oregon put up 506 yards of offense, more than doubling the Bobcats, including a couple of hurdles for the highlight reel from Sadiq and DeCorian Moore. Oregon shut down Montana State's vaunted rushing attack, just 46 yards on the ground, keeping them out of the end zone until the final 3 minutes of the game. Oregon delivers a dominant performance to open the season. Final count, 59-13.
I was really proud of the fact that we got to see a lot of players in this game today. A lot of guys go out there and compete, and I think there's still a lot for us to be able to clean up and still give ourselves an opportunity to assess exactly where we're at. But overall, proud of the compete, proud of the guys never looking at the scoreboard and continue to just work and focus, and overall proud of the product.
The 1-0 Oregon Ducks right back here next Saturday, September 6th, to take on the 1-0 Oklahoma State Cowboys. Reporting from Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Orlando Sanchez, KGW Sports.
All right, the Oregon State Beavers, they're opening up their season. It is going on right now at Reser Stadium against Cal, a former Pac-12 rival. Game is in the second quarter, and Oregon State is down 14-0. We'll have the highlights of that ball game tonight at 11. Portland State Vikings hit the road to play Brigham Young today. Another tough outing for the Vikings. They fall to BYU 69-0. Portland State plays North Dakota next week. You know, for the third match in a row, the Portland Timbers had to go against one of the top teams in MLS. Today, on the road against Minnesota, the second-place team in the Western Conference. This was a defensive battle until late in the match. The Timbers able to get on the board. A good push by the Timbers. Anthony with the shot. Portland scores by way of the own goal in the 80th minute, 1-0 Portland. That lead didn't really last all that long, though. Minnesota countered with a goal in the 85th minute. The match ends 1-1, so Portland is able to pick up 1 point. And the Portland Thorns in action on Friday night at home against Utah, trying to start a new home winning streak. The Royals scored twice in this one, second goal late in the second half. The Thorns were able to get one back in stoppage time. Julie Dufour off a volley into the back of the net, her first NWSL goal. Thorns fall, though, 2-1 the final. They sit in 6th place on the table. Portland plays Racing Louisville on the road Friday.
Well, for the start of the football season for the Ducks and the Beavers, it did feel like fall today, but we are not done with summer just yet.
Not yet. We are going to heat up just a little bit as we get into the early and mid parts of next week. But the good news, a comfortable Labor Day weekend on tap. So if you have plans on Monday, be excited. It's definitely something to look forward to.
And a lot of sun on that 7-day forecast, especially when we flip over to Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us on this special edition. You can stream KGW News on your own schedule. Just download our free KGW Plus app, available right now on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. We'll see you at 11.